Right now, the most capable intelligence tools ever built are sitting on servers you don't control. For most users, that is a convenience. But if you work in medicine or law, typing patient symptoms or client secrets into a cloud-based prompt is a massive liability. You need the computing power, but the data has to remain entirely locked down. Using a standard, off-the-shelf AI assistant means transmitting sensitive text to external infrastructure. Under frameworks like the HIPAA security rule and the American Bar Association's confidentiality mandates, handing over electronic protected health information or privileged case details to third-party servers without explicit, controlled agreements is a direct compliance violation. Beyond data privacy, there is the issue of accuracy. A freewheeling AI is a prediction engine, not a truth engine. In the 2023 case Mata v. Avianca, attorneys were sanctioned by a federal judge for submitting a brief filled with non-existent cases and fake citations generated by a consumer AI. The model simply guessed what a legal citation should look like, and the lawyers filed it. The technical reality of cloud AI includes hidden liabilities. Vendor-hosted endpoints often run telemetry, and prompts can be retained in system logs. In some cases, your firm's proprietary inputs can even be absorbed into the training datasets of future public models. Securing your data doesn't mean ignoring the technology. It requires physically severing the connection. To build an AI platform that doctors and lawyers can actually use, organizations are abandoning cloud APIs and constructing 100% local, air-gapped supercomputers inside their own buildings. A local AI stack starts with raw hardware. A single attorney might run a small model on a secure workstation using 2 GPUs. But a multi-tenant environment, an entire clinic or firm querying the system at once, requires a dedicated server rack packed with data center hardware like NVIDIA H100s or AMD MI300Xs to handle the massive memory bandwidth. To keep that hardware organized, you need an orchestration layer. Systems like Kubernetes act as the traffic cops of your server. They partition resources and manage containerized applications, ensuring that the legal department's batch jobs run in a separate, isolated lane from the billing department's tools. Before any AI can reason, it needs something to read. This is the data plane. It involves ingesting years of unstructured legacy files, scanning raw PDFs, running optical character recognition on images, and extracting the text into clean, uniform formats. Next, that text is processed through a vector index using tools like pgvector. This software analyzes your documents and converts their semantic meaning into mathematical coordinates. It gives your system a searchable memory bank, allowing the computer to understand that a query about cardiac failure should retrieve notes mentioning heart disease. Because this entire data plane operates on local storage, the search histories, the client extraction logs, and the metadata never touch the public internet. You now have a highly secure, meticulously organized vault of information. But a vault doesn't think. To process this data, you have to bring in the brain.
This is the inference layer. Instead of pinging a remote server, you download the actual weights of powerful models, like Meta's Llama or Mistral, and run them directly on your internal hardware. But downloadable does not always mean open source. The software running your server is usually OSI-approved open source, meaning you can use it for anything. The models themselves are often open weight. They are free to download, but their licenses contain strict behavioral and commercial restrictions. Sourcing these models is a strict legal compliance task. You have to read the fine print to ensure your specific medical or legal use case isn't forbidden by the model's licensing agreement. Once the model is legally cleared and running locally, you hit the operational hurdle. You cannot trust it to generate factual answers purely from its own training data. If you let it guess, it will hallucinate. The solution is a technique called Retrieval Augmented Generation, or RAG. It acts as a strict technical guardrail. When a user asks a question, the system blocks the AI from answering immediately. Instead, the query is routed to your secure vector index to find the exact, relevant documents. The AI is then handed those specific text snippets and instructed to formulate its answer based only on what you just provided, resulting in a response backed by verifiable citations. Because the system pulls from your local index first, it logs who queried what corpus, when they did it, and exactly which documents were retrieved. This creates the exact audit trails required by HIPAA and legal compliance frameworks. An AI output becomes legally defensible when its logic is mathematically tethered to your firm's own verifiable records. In a local first office, the most sensitive recordings, from physician dictations to high-stakes legal depositions, are transcribed entirely offline. By running speech models like Whisper on internal GPUs, firms process hours of meeting audio without a single byte ever touching a third-party server. You can run massive summarization tasks across gigabytes of legal discovery, or draft internal policies grounded in your historical data, all without exposing a single byte of client information to the outside world. There are hardware constraints. A racked with local GPUs will struggle to match the speed and quality of massive cloud farms when it comes to generating long-form, complex video media. There are also licensing realities. While public domain court cases can be indexed freely, proprietary legal databases layer copyrighted editorial headnotes over their text. You cannot simply scrape and index commercial legal platforms into your local machine without navigating a licensing minefield. The most successful local deployments rely on the principle of bounded assistance. The AI acts as a reasoning and drafting engine. Deterministic tools like databases and accounting software enforce the strict operational rules, and human professionals maintain the final review. The frontier of enterprise AI is no longer about connecting to the absolute largest cloud model available. It is about building a customized, air-gapped intelligence that answers exclusively to you.